Hi, it is April the 2nd, 2025. So these big reciprocal tariffs or whatever got announced today, bigger than the market expected. So the stock market that's been selling off, had a big sell-off after hours in the futures. And the US dollar had a big sell-off. So the bond market rallied, gold was firm as the risk off trade materialized. So that's what you would normally expect as far as gold and as far as the bond market. However, the dollar has in previous risk off moments been strong, and now it's weak. And the bond market, while there's a knee jerk into bonds, a bond is ultimately a future payment of dollars. So if you think the dollar is losing value, you don't want future payments in dollars. So as the intelligence returns and people get past this knee-jerk reaction, bond analysts are going to realize if we're talking about a weaker dollar, we need to discount the value of those future cash flows paid in dollars. So um, I expect gold to become the safe haven once this happens, because the bonds right now are acting as a safe haven. But like I said, a weak dollar means weak bonds, at least on the long end of the yield curve. Um, and that's where people have been flying for safety. So gold, in my opinion, is a place to be. I really hope a lot of Americans buy it, see this video, and get what they can while they can, because a lot of Americans aren't going to have any. And even if we get freedom, which we will need to survive, and don't worry about that, because that's something I'm dealing with and something that the powers that be will need to deal with. But for the everyday folk, it's about protecting yourself, so that once we get freedom, you can be a pillar of strength in your community, financial strength, whether that means you're buying food for people, you're investing capital in local businesses that need it, uh, etc. We're going to have a liquidity crisis, but it's not going to be dollars that people are seeking, it's going to be gold. So, and other tangible stores of transferable value that they can use as money. So, this isn't a video about crypto. I expect that market to sell off with the stock market as it has been treated as a risk on asset. That doesn't mean I don't think there's any inherent value or use case in any crypto. What it means is I believe that the prices have resulted from a bubble that's been inflated by cheap money. And realistically, um, not every one of them is going to have any kind of real use case or value at the end of the day. So, my opinion is it's not a time to buy the general market, because we're going to see this deflation, this crash, of this deflation of this bubble, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's not a video about that. It's about real money, and the realest money there is gold. It always has been. Um, People around the world recognize it. It's got spiritual properties that are recognized in many different worldviews. It's the money that was used in the Bible. It is real money. And even though it's a lot more expensive than it was 10 years ago, it's it's still way underpriced for what it is and for what people are going to need moving forward. And there's still a lot of overpriced junk out there despite this sell-off. So I'm not a financial advisor as far as being licensed or anything like that. So each individual needs to make their own investment decisions. I'm just presenting my personal outlook and what I like.